body that your mom might not be back before the cashier is done. It's an awful feeling. Truth is though, like, what would really happen? You'd say to the lady, oh, my mom went to get one more thing, she'll be back in a second. And then the people behind you will be mad because it's wasting their time, but she won't be gone that long. But that's not, you don't think like that when you're a kid. You're just thinking, oh my, where is my mother? How dare she? sex scene with anyone is awkward. You know, how about when it comes on when you're with your kids? Oh, I avoid those kind of things. I keep the remote close. And if I see it coming on, I'll be fast forwarding it. I will never forget. I might have told this story once. A very long time ago when my kids were pretty young. I don't know. Let's say they maybe were like 10 or something.